finally made it. We are done. Part 3 completely done. This was good. It had some funny moments in it. A lot of funny moments in it, even though it was very chaotic at some points. But we finally got through it. Thank God. We are done with this long, drawn out season. But 23 episodes. We are done. This is the last time. But before we do get in, I got to thank y'all again, as always. Thank y'all so much for the engagement. I don't know what else to tell y'all besides that. The engagement helps so much. The last 2 reviews that we have done, or that I have done, I'm including y'all in it as well, because y'all help push it out. So keep doing what you're doing. As you see, the likes continue, the comments, that is super duper important. That's all I ask from y'all. If you are new, subscribe. But most importantly, just thumbs up the video, drop a comment down below. That helps push everything out. It's free of charge. I'm not going to ask y'all for money. That's all I ask. Just do that. And yeah, let's go ahead and get on into it. All right, so we get back from the cliffhanger last week, which they could have literally shown this whole scene because nothing happened. Smiley and Mariahlynn, they run up and both of them fall. And then they threw 2 little weak swings. Both of them threw a swing apiece. I couldn't tell if anything connected, but regardless if anything did connect, it wasn't impactful. Both them girls cannot fight. That's just what it is. Smiley gets up. She's in pain. And I'm like, why are you fighting with a fucked up hand? That's number one. I would have never even got on that stage wanting to fight, knowing that I just literally hit a mirror and probably have glass in my hand. Like, what's the point in doing that? But she did that. Smiley and Mariah, they go another round. Nothing happened again besides Smiley literally snatching her wig off and kind of getting Mariahlynn off balance. But that was nothing. Mariah sitting there calling Smiley big for nothing. That's not incorrect, because she is big for nothing. She's big and she should be fighting a lot better than she does, but whatever. She said that she was in there beating up her trailer and did it on purpose for sympathy. Whatever. So Ahna ends up asking where E.T. is. And Rolly says, stop worrying about her. She says, there's all these women on this stage and you only worried about E.T. And at this point, Ahna has no reason to fight anybody else out on that stage besides you. So at this point, Ahna's valid in asking where E.T. is, because E.T. included her in the public cattle call that she did in regards to House B, talking about fuck all of House B. So at this point, the question is valid. But Ahna is asking for a shot. Rolly says nobody needs any more liquor. And I was like, I fully agree. Rolly said a couple things this reunion that I actually agreed with. But Janisha and Nene, they ended up asking for E.T. to come out to have a conversation. And they tell the girls, do not run up because they need to ask questions. And I'm glad it was like pretty much sit down. Sit down. Y'all fought enough at this point. Let's at least try to get certain things talked about, see where we can go with it. So I was glad they did that. So Nene then says that Mariahlynn and Smiley's argument doesn't make any sense for them to be up here fighting. And I'm like, exactly, because at the end of the day, considering everything that has happened with them two, they've already done everything that they need to. So it's like, why are y'all still fighting at this reunion? Everything y'all did was stupid and pointless. Yes, you took your chain. Okay, you got the chain back. Why are y'all still carrying this on? Why are y'all still continuing to fight? Yes, Smiley gets online and she talks too much shit. That would make somebody want to hit them. But you know Smiley can't fight. So at this point, there's no point in continuing to drag it out. So I see where Nene was coming from there. But Biggie said essentially all the fake shit that was happening on the show, and this is their last time to squash it, which is why they're all trying to get all this out. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. That is true. But Tesehki said that she's mad that her and E.T. even fought because she's going to have to live with that. Talking about E.T., she's going to have to live with that. Her getting her ass beat the way she did on TV. She is going to have to live with that for the rest of her life. And she's not lying because this is recorded. It's all over social media. This is one of the top social shows. When I say social shows, in terms of like trending on social media, this show is super duper high in terms of that. It gets a lot of views. A lot of people watch it. It gets a lot of engagements. So yes, she is gonna have to live with this for the rest of her life. Those fights will always stay out. So she said they really fought over nothing, though. That's the whole reason why Tesehki's upset. And like I said, this is why I respect Tesehki. She knows the power that she possesses when she does fight. So she feels like the only time she should be fighting is if there's a real reason to fight. And I'm like, yeah, I agree with that. She said she feels like they just fought over nothing, which essentially you had a reason to fight. But yes, it did stem off of nothing. So she said nobody got up in the middle to fight like her and E.T. did, talking about the rest of the girls fighting. So why can't they all just sit down and talk it out? And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Exactly. Again. But while they're doing this, Suki walks over to pass Rolly the blunt. I'm like, so you sharing a blunt with her? Yeah, okay, no, that's a choice. That's a choice. That's a choice I wouldn't make. But Anna claims that she really liked ET and would like to talk to her, but she's gonna always stand her ground. And she said she's not gonna attack anybody because she's not a psycho. So Brody talks about how her and DJ Sky got into it on the internet, which we all know. She said that they called each other and expressed how they felt over the phone, and they squashed their beef. I'm glad you handled it like grown women, but at the end of the day, DJ Sky, this is where DJ Sky talking about she's a Leo. You're not like most of us Leos. Me, when it comes to people disrespecting me, you disrespect me one time, that's it. I don't care what else you got to say, because at this point, DJ Sky and Rolly made up before they came on the season, because they was beefing at the last reunion. Made up came on the season this season. Rolly then talks greasy about DJ Sky on this season. She got to watch it all over again and still decides to want to make amends with her and be friends with her again. That's basically domestic abuse, if you ask me. I don't roll that way. I always say, if you don't like me, let me know that you don't like me so I can keep it moving. I don't do that fake shit. That's fake. That's not Leo behavior. It's not. But also, ET comes out. She comes out finally, looking rough, tired, and miserable. And Tesehki was telling Suki how she came out looking cute. Like, she's like, I'm not a hater. She did come out here looking cute. And she did come out there looking the best she's ever looked. But she decided she wanted to come out running and swinging on Natalie, somebody that did not know she was coming to fight her, which is true. So ET didn't care about looking cute. She came out there to literally look cute, to walk out there to run up. So at that point, that is what it is. But Nene starts talking about ET phone home. I don't know if y'all caught it, but I caught it. That was funny. Janisha then asked ET who she wanted to talk to. Like, did she have anybody else out there that she wanted to talk to? And she said she didn't want to talk to nobody. So Biggie then asked ET why she treated her like that, saying that she sat in her face, saying that she didn't want to act like that. Saying ET said she didn't want to act like that. And she's saying at the end of the season, this is when this happened. And then she said that she wanted to be more girly and enjoy herself and have more fun. That's what ET was telling Biggie. Everybody, as Biggie was talking, because Biggie was getting on my nerves, and I'll get to it later on, but she was not getting on my nerves in this moment, because when she was trying to talk, everybody kept talking over her. Like, just talking over her, asking her questions as she's trying to explain it. And yes, I understand sometimes she is long-winded. It takes her forever to get to her point. But at this point, she was getting to the point. She was at least providing detail and backstory as to why, or what led up to what, as to why she's getting to that point. But she couldn't get to that point because Nene kept cutting her off. And she's pretty much saying, like, did she sit on your face or did she sit in your face? I'm like, what does that have to do with the point? Like, who cares? What is the point? Let her get to the point. So Sapphire says she gets up randomly, just gets up, and she throws water. And when I tell you, I literally sat here, rewound it back, because I watched it with my sister, rewound it back. I caught, because she got up and she was doing this, circling around with ET. ET's up doing the same thing. They circled around with they square up post up doing this for 23 whole seconds. I literally counted it back. 23 whole seconds, nothing. And at this point, I'm not even mad at ET, because you're pressing me. Sapphire, I'm talking about you. You're pressing me, so you should be the first one to swing. Don't wait for me to swing when you come running up on me. So at this point, I'm on the ET side in this situation. So Sapphire is then sitting there saying, because everybody's pretty much hyping her up. She can't fight, go do this, go do that. Sapphire then kicks her shoes off, saying, I can't fight in shoes. Okay, so why did you come up running up with shoes on if you know you can't fight in shoes? That's number one. Then she starts to say, well, she's not going to swing first. Why would ET swing first when you're the one pressing her? If she's pressing you, she should be swinging first. You're the one pressing her, you should be swinging first. She didn't do it. So then she starts saying to ET, telling ET to take her rings off. At this point, you're just coming up with all these excuses as to why you don't want to hit her first. And at this point, if you didn't want to hit her first, you should have sat your ass down on the couch. But ET eventually decides that she wants to run up. And she ran up. Sapphire might have gotten maybe 2 licks in. She had one little out wide right wing swing. But that was it. ET grabbed her and got the uppercut. And she got at least about 4 or 5 clean uppercuts on her. Sapphire was embarrassing. ET finally got a win on this reunion, and it came off of Sapphire. And Sapphire being as big as she is, it's just like, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing because, like I told my sister, her only redeeming quality is her face and her body. Like, she's beautiful and she has a nice body. That's it. She's a loser. She's whack. Like, Sapphire, she whack. And I was like, Suki, and I mean, everybody else ended up trying to get involved too, either trying to break it up or at least trying to jump in. I couldn't tell because there was so much going on. Certain people were trying to jump in and get their licks in, but Suki's trying to go to bat for Sapphire. She's trying to get her licks in. And I'm like, Suki, why? This is your opportunity to sit back and do Sapphire the way she did you. Because that's what I would have done. My sister was like, she being a good friend. Yes, she is, but me, I wouldn't have done that. And not after you did me the way you did me. I would have done that if you would have jumped in when you were supposed to jump in the last time. But at this time, it's tit for tat. I'm gonna let you handle yours and handle it. But they pull ET to the back, telling her to take them rings off. And ET saying they ain't ready for her. They trying to jump. 1-on-1, they all suck. I'm like, you want to say that because 1-on-1, we see you suck too. Tesehki straight up exposed you in regards to that. But back on the stage, they literally proving her point because Natalie's sitting there talking about how she wants to fight her. Biggie's wanting to fight her now. They all asking for phase now, and she's backstage. Why y'all didn't ask it when she was standing up? Because when she got back out there, she stood up, and when she was standing up, they should have got up and would have been like, okay, let's go, come on. But they didn't do it. So they all sitting there talking at one time. I kept trying to figure it out, but I was like, whatever. I don't know what they're saying. But Rolly said that everybody can get their ones with ET and she's not going to jump. And I'm like, good. I agree. At this point, all y'all want to fight her, ask for your one, get y'all's in, pause, let her catch a moment, then get your next one. That's the way it should have gone at this point because she asked for all them fades. She asked for them before she got to the reunion. So, yes, run them, but run them individually. I don't like the jumping shit. But all the while, Sky is the only one that's not up doing stuff. She's sitting there smoking her blunt on the couch, completely unbothered. Completely unbothered. But ET is backstage talking hella cash shit. Like, she is just back here just talking it. She ain't have none of that energy on the stage, but she back there talking cash money shit back there. So she then says that, let me catch my breath so I can get Mariah, Ahna, and Camila. I'm like, so you want to get those three? Those are the three that you want to get. Okay, got it. So Rolly ends up saying that she's going to let Natalie and ET get their ones in without jumping in. Suki then tells Sapphire, pretty much trying to hype her up as all this is going on, telling her to go get that next round and go slam ET. And that's what I told my sister. I said, look, you being as big as you are and you now know at this point you can't fight. Use your weight, use your height and your weight to your advantage. Pick her up and slam her down. That's the only way you're going to get her. But they sit them all back down. ET comes back out to this set and she sits down and she says that, well, I don't know if she got out there at that point, but she said that she was not going to be able to get through all them bitches. And I'm like, at this point, you put out a cattle call saying that you can't get through all them bitches. At this point, you shouldn't have told everybody on social media that you wanted to get every last one of them at the reunion. So at this point, you asked for it, so you're going to have to get them. But Nene ends up saying she has a question for ET, and then they finally bring her out. So this is when they brought her out. And Tesehki's trying to get pretty much usher security around ET. She's low-key trying to protect her in this moment. She said, because they might try and attack you. They might try and jump on you, and I might jump too. When she did that, I died. But Biggie is still talking about her lying on her brother. And at this point, I'm like, Biggie, shut up. Shut up. Like, let them at least ask a question. And if the question pertains to you, then you can speak. Because essentially, I would think that they would ask about that particular situation with ET and Biggie because it was a big part of the season. Just let them get to it. But she keeps talking. As ET is out there on the stage, all she's doing is talking. And I'm like, just shut up. Let them ask the questions. But they finally ended up asking the question. And then he says, does ET feel like Natalie was in a tough position because she had to divide her time between all of the girls? And does she feel like what she did running up on her because she didn't speak to her, or at least have any type of outside interaction with her, did she feel like that was fair? And she asked her, why did you run up? And ET says, because she set me up. And she says that I don't like talking either. We know you don't like talking, and we got to see why you don't like talking, because when it comes to talking, when it comes to arguing, I should say, or at least back and forth, tit for tat, bickering, she can't keep up. That's why she fights. Because like I said all season, if you've been watching my recaps, I think she is mentally delayed. And this reunion proved it, because she kept getting tagged verbally. But I'm going to get to it. But Rolly said, let her talk, because Biggie kept trying to talk. Everybody else kept trying to talk. Ahna, Tesehki, Sapphire, Suki, all them kept trying to talk. And at this point, I was agreeing with Rolly. Like, let her at least say something. Even though she wasn't trying to say nothing. Like, she was not trying to speak. But at this point, let her at least try and speak or say something. And she was like, she don't like to talk. And at that point too, I was like, well, she said she don't like to talk. So at this point, is she gonna speak? But they asked her the same question again, and she says Natalie knew what was going on. She knows that she did because she's the smartest lady on the stage. And then he said, not necessarily. When she said that, I was laughing. But she was saying she knows that was going to happen because she felt like she knew that she was about to get jumped there. That just happened too. And Housebeat's still talking. Nene says that's not true because she's the EP. It doesn't mean that she has all the power. She holds a title. And I was like, I'm glad you said it because Natalie wants everybody in the world to know her being the EP means she is head honcho. She is the boss. Granted, she has some power, but what Nene said is true. Her being the executive producer does not mean she has control over the show completely. Completely. So Natalie then says that she knows ET does not believe that she set her up, which is why she's not fighting her. She said, I'm not scared of you. I said, but did you not ask to get your one when she was backstage? Natalie, that you contradicted yourself there. But Natalie then says that she ain't never had a fucking issue with ET. She said, I never told any of them bitches to talk to to go fight you. I don't even speak on your name. I don't talk to these bitches about you. When Natalie said that I was low-key catching it in the shade, she basically told her, I don't even think about you. I don't even think about you. And ET didn't even catch it. So, and that would make her even more mad considering the fact that she was so jealous because she didn't invite her to shit. The fact that she didn't even think about you, don't even think about you at all to even speak to anybody else, I thought that would have hurt her feelings, but it didn't. But E.T. randomly, because she didn't have nothing else to say to Natalie, she randomly screams, because I think Biggie, Ahna, and Tesehki might have been saying something. But she said, stop sucking dick, bitches, to them. But didn't say nothing to Natalie. Natalie is looking directly at her like I'm looking at y'all. And she didn't say nothing to Natalie, but she goes to them and says, stop sucking dick, bitches. My sister caught it the first time, but I couldn't catch it because I was too busy laughing because all three of them started talking shit back at the same time, and it just cracked me up. But Tesehki, when I watched it back, after she said stop sucking dick, bitches, Tesehki so quickly, and this is the beginning of Tesehki verbally wearing her out, said, your face looked like you sucked 1,000,000 dicks. When I tell you I about died in here, we screamed laughing. But Biggie and Ahna also still talking shit. Tesehki tells her to get the fuck up at this point because she wants to fight again. She said, get the fuck up because you ain't learned your lesson. And she stayed her ass in that chair. So eventually, apparently, Tesehki, she has learned her lesson. She knew not to try and get it again with you. But E.T. was then telling her to run up. And I'm like, E.T., that's not smart. You didn't learn your lesson. Because if you want her to run up and you still sitting in that chair, that's not smart. You better get up if you want her to run up. But Sky ends up telling E.T. to say how she feels. And at this point, I can tell Sky is high as a kite. Like, when she was talking to her, it was so funny. But E.T. says they don't care. And why should they care? Like, why should they care? But E.T. is saying to Sky that she ain't called none of them girls ugly. And I'm like, well, you calling somebody ugly, we're moving on. She said they act like they didn't hit below the belt. And it's like, but you hit below the belt as well. Saying that she didn't say anything bad about them girls on social media until they decided to say stuff about her. But I'm like, was you not on social media calling Tesehki Molesky? That's why Tesehki beat your ass at this reunion, because you don't talk crazy like that about people and you don't know shit like that for a fact. She says that they want to talk about shit and nobody wants to question her. And she said nobody can question her. And I'm like, so why are you here? Like, she said that the rest of them girls wanted to talk about shit and she didn't want to talk about none of it. So I'm like, why are you here? You're at the reunion. That's the whole point. You either fight and you talk about stuff. That's the point of a reunion. So Sky is telling Janisha and Nene to ask her how she felt. So Janisha then asked her, she pretty much said to E.T., you pretty much said, fuck all of House B, and you had it out for all of House B, and she lies and says she didn't say. She said she didn't say that, but she said fuck all of House B, and I'm like, essentially that's the same thing. Like, when it comes to fighting, you, with your fighting terms, saying fuck all of House B and all them girls is in House B, essentially that means you have a problem with them. But she said a bitch can look at her stupid and then she'll run up. And she said, where she comes from, that's how they get down out there. And Tesehki said, that's the dumbest way to think. And it is the dumbest way to think. Anytime somebody look at you crazy, you going to run up and hit them? Like, you're going to be hitting everybody because you can't walk down the street without somebody looking at you crazy. And it's not even necessarily them looking at you crazy. Some people just have, like, RBF, resting bitch face. They might not be trying to look at you crazy, but they just have that face that just looks crazy. But you can't just run up and hit somebody just because they're looking at you crazy. Sometimes you're going to end up catching a cap in that ass doing that. But Rolly ends up saying every time E.T. says something, Biggie got something to say, which is true. She's not lying. And it was getting annoying. But Tesehki, Biggie, and Ahna, they get up taunting her the way they did. It was just funny. It was funny to me because it's like all of what ET has done all season, they finally got to get their lick back. They should have been doing this to her on the show. We'll get to that later though. Nene then asked if people looking at her, does that mean that she has to fight? And she says yes. And then Janisha says, so all it takes is for somebody to look at you crazy for you to run up. She says, no, not necessarily. But if it's a look like they're trying to fight, then I'll do it. Whatever. You just contradicted yourself again. But Janisha then brings up how the fans had wanted her on the show, or at least a lot of the fans from Now That's TV wanted her on the show. And she said that how you got on the show and you kept getting involved in shit that didn't concern you turned the fans against you. I'm glad Janisha is still addressing shit. But she said, like, how do you feel about that? And she said she don't care. We know you do, because you wouldn't be acting the way you do on the show or on this reunion. But Janisha then asked her, is there anything else that you want to address? And she gets up and she said, I never called any of them ugly or bad. We already talked about why she shouldn't be calling nobody ugly. But she said they came for her, and that's the only time she talked bad about them. And she said whatever the fans said in them comments, they then said it. But on the show, whenever they was on the show, they was acting different. They was cool with her. That is one thing that she said that I truly agreed with, because we've been saying it, and I've been saying it all season. When Legend was doing the reviews with me, we've been saying it the whole time. These girls, which is why I couldn't stand All the House B, they sat the whole season and let her do all this shit and did not say nothing, didn't address it to her at all during the season. So everything she's saying is true, because they then got online after each episode dropped and we all was talking crazy because we was shocked and upset how they let that shit happen. And then they decide that they now want to start talking about how bad she is. She was not lying when she said that. But she then says that she asked Ahna for a wig or whatever. She had no issue with Ahna. She said Ahna switched up on her when she got online talking about how she's going to jump her at the reunion. Ahna did do that. But Ahna said that she never brought up her in any type of social media stuff, and said that she didn't care about her saying fuck All the House B, because she was going around saying fuck All the House A. She said what bothered her was her calling her scary and saying that she's going to break her arm. And then EC says that she knows that she makes bitches mad because they can't question her and everything. And I'm like, everything you do comes with a question, because you do so many things that are questionable. And as I was thinking that, Tesehki said, they can't question you. She said, when they look at your face, they're going to have a lot of questions for you. I was like, let her breathe a little bit. She could not let her breathe at all. ET says that she ain't talking about a bitch who gets on YouTube talking about her. She got money off of her. And Biggie said, yeah, thank you. I got $50K off that. I'm going to eat that $50K. I bought me a house with it too. I was like, see, Biggie flex on it. Flex on it. Because you stupid, ET, because you should have did all that talking on YouTube. You should have opened up you a YouTube account and got you some money. Biggie had some money before she got on this show. You was the one that was pressed for some money. You could use that 50K. But ET said, look at you. You shining now. You shining now. And Tesehki said, so are you, baby. You are a star. Tesehki was on her. Anytime she said something that she thought she was eating Biggie with, Tesehki came back for it. But Biggie then brings up the boy hitting her in the back of the head. She then says that ET said it was a light-skinned short boy, but she saw it was a dark-skinned dreadhead. Biggie says that ET said that Biggie sent him to her, and ET denies it, saying that I said Big Biggie. And I'm like, you lying again. Yes, the first time you talked about it, you said Big Biggie, but every episode, which we all clocked, every recapper, every fan that watches the show, we all clocked. Every single episode, you added something else to it. And the second episode, after it happened, you added Big Biggie. He said Big Biggie sent me. You did say it. We got clips. If I knew how to edit and liked editing, I would clip it in. But y'all know what I'm talking about. She lies all the time. But Biggie said you literally told the story 15 different times. And you said it 15 different ways. I was like, exactly. As I was thinking this, she said it. She said, you're a liar. I looked at you, and she was talking so fast in this moment. I know ET could not keep up. But then she finishes saying that she was looking at me like I was the R word. I can't say that word. You know what I'm talking about. ET then responds and said, yeah, I am the R word. She said, I got a couple screws loose. I'm like, that's the first time you've been pretty self-aware. That's the one time you've been very self-aware, because you do got some screws loose and you do come off a little slow. But Ahna tells Biggie to run up. Pretty much said, go run up on her. At this point, Biggie said if ET run, she said ET ain't gonna run up on her because Tesehki gonna get her. I'm like, Biggie, you run up on her. You the one with the issue. But ET says that everybody is scary because they back up. They back up when it comes to fighting her. And Tesehki says it's called bob and weave. And ET said, well, I come from the shoulders. Y'all know I've been saying the last 2 episodes, been giving y'all a play-by-play in terms of how to throw an effective punch. I've told y'all all the past 2 episodes with all them rounds how she don't do that. She might come over the shoulders doing this. She don't throw swings off the shoulder. That's what Tesehki does. And Tesehki murdered her with this line right here. Well, Tesehki said this. She said, look at your face and look at mine. That's number one. You talk about how you fight. You talk about how you this big fighter. Talking about I come with the shoulders. Look at like she said, look at your face and look at mine. We just went 4 rounds. You ain't to get nothing on me. But let me get to it. This is where she really knocked her out with this one. Tesehki said, I gave you 4 rounds. You reckless. You fight reckless. And you supposed to bob and weave with a bitch like you because you can't fight. Said exactly. ET then starts laughing and chuckling, saying, but you can't eat. You supposed to eat my punches. You supposed to eat my hits. I said, what punches was she supposed to eat when you didn't land any? You was eating her punches. Look at your face. Like, be for real. ET, Tesehki she was killing her. But she's now trying to talk to Nene, trying to avoid all of that because she can't keep up. She ain't got nothing else to say back. Oh, Nene, you look so pretty. And Nene said, oh, God. Like, she's not even addressing her. She's looking the other way. I'm like, E.T., this is embarrassing. But Rolly then tries to say her goodbyes because at this point, she's irritated because there's no resolution. At this point, you're not going to get a resolution. But Rolly says that she had a great time on the show. It was a different experience because she was a bully and a villain. I'm like, self-aware. That's why it was a different experience because you came on the show acting different. Like, you were actually likable the other shows that you was on. At least to some people you were. But this season, you were completely unlikable, and I'm glad you know it. She said she ended up thanking Natalie for building the platform, and she said that's her friend. Sapphire says, well, why did you let your friend get beat up? Why did you let Natalie get beat up? Natalie said, I didn't get beat up. Like, she wanted to make sure to let that be known. But she said, Rolly said she didn't know that E.T. was going to run up on her. And she said she checked her about running up on her, and E.T. said, you asked me. I don't know if y'all caught it, but Rolly she didn't come back and say nothing else about it. But Rolly said that she don't have to explain shit to nobody on that stage because they all did fucked up shit friend-wise this season. She's not lying because a lot of them were supposedly friends of certain people that they allowed certain shit to happen. So she did not lie about that. But she ends up leaving the stage. Scotty starts talking about how her, Ahna, and T could have handled things differently because she's a businesswoman. I said, but you started every single interaction, every single altercation that y'all had was because of you. You started it all. You ran up on all of them. You tried to press and hit all of them. So you're the one that's not the businesswoman. Scott says she had a blast. Like I said, she's high. Nene then asks E.T. if she has any final thoughts. She gets up and says, Mariah, Ahna, Biggie, y'all want y'all wins. And Mariah gets up, tries to run up and swing. E.T. blocked it and got to work on her. So that's win number 2 for E.T. Tesehki, Sapphire, and Suki get up to go jump. Why y'all trying to go jump her when y'all know she can't fight? And at this point, well, I ain't gonna say she can't fight. She can't fight. She can handle herself. She can swing. She got a nice heavy hand. When she does connect, she can connect, and it can be powerful. But essentially, if you know how to fight like Tesehki, there's no reason for you to be trying to jump this girl, especially after she literally had fought so many times. And I know her body is hurting. And you all know her body's hurt because you can look at her and tell that it hurts. So why are y'all trying to jump her? Just get your ones on her. She will give it to you. That's one thing I will say about her. She will give you that one. But E.T. sitting in the corner laughing her sadness away. That's the way I took it. But Sapphire and E.T., they go for another round. They start pump faking again, doing this. Nothing happening. And I'm like, Sapphire, and then Sapphire finally, she runs up and kicks and throws one. She threw one little right that looked like it might have connected. But she says she's here to please Suki. I said, that is so embarrassing. I ain't got nothing to say. But she runs up and kicks E.T. and then she goes back into security. And as she's going back into security, E.T. gets a couple licks in. And it looked embarrassing at one point, but the angles were so whack. But they both were swinging. I don't know if they was connecting. That one I'm going to give to E.T. again. Suki is ordering Sapphire to get her again. Get her again. I was laughing the whole time. But they told her that she got beat up. E.T. denies it. In those fights, she didn't get beat up. Tesehki's fight, she got beat up. But she's now twerking, saying with this new body, da-da-da. Biggie sees it. She turns around and twerks. E.T. says, ew, it looked like it stank. Biggie then says, yours, you got yours for free. It's like they are literally tagging her up. Tagging her up. She couldn't come back from none of that. But Suki ends up getting her lick back with the water. She slings some water and she slung it good. As she does that, Suki then takes off her skirt, starts rolling it around, rolling her ass around, telling ET to kiss her ass. Biggie then asks for another round with ET. ET claims, I'm with it. Come on, let's go. And she said, come on if you want to fight. Biggie is just sitting there talking. And finally, she gets her set up. Because at this point, Biggie is like, okay, now I'm ready to go. Natalie's screaming from the back, Biggie, eat that bitch. And Suki threw some water, and Ahna took the opportunity. If y'all didn't watch, Ahna snuck her good. And the way she snuck her is the way you're supposed to sneak if you want to effectively get it off. Because Ahna, I was watching her as Biggie and ET was going like this. Ahna was like slowly but surely walking around security to where nobody was looking at her like she might do something. She got around there as soon as that water came. ET put her head down. She got to work on it. But Ahna got her. ET now wants Ahna, rightfully so, because she just snuck her. So I'm not mad at that. Big and ET, they finally gets to getting it. And before they got to it, I told my sister at the same time, I said, she better not run up in here with that head down. She better run up in here swinging with that head up. What'd she do? Run in with her head down. And the way she swung, she almost fell. And when I tell you, ET looked like she's about to hit her, but the way ET's reaction was, that was her shining moment of the entire season. The way she got up, jumping, laughing. Like, I'm not even going to hit you now because you are embarrassing. The way she jumped up laughing, that was ET's shining moment this season. That was her shining moment because she was me. I was cracking up. ET said, I can't even hit you at this point. Bye. And she's like, where's Ahna? She dismissed her like, you ain't even worth me fighting. Like, bye. Biggie want to fight her so bad and then do that? Yeah, I was with ET on that. Tesehki swings in between security. She missed, but if ET would have been a little bit closer, yeah, she'd have got knocked out. But of course, security locked Tesehki down. They knew better than to let her free. But ET's laughing because Biggie still wants another round. I'd have been laughing too, like, be for real. You need to go sit down somewhere. But ET is telling her to run up. And as she's telling her to run up, Biggie got her guards up. Open space. Security's around them, but they're not like pressing him. So she could literally run up. And she could have literally got ET because ET had her hands down like this. And she purposely had her hands down like this, pretty much telling her, I'm not even scared of you. I know you can't fight. I know you're literally going to run up with your head down and you're going to miss. I literally could sit right here like this without my guard up and still not get touched. So she's pretty much telling her, like, run up, run up. And Biggie is not doing anything. She's just sitting here backing up. ET is pressing her like this. Biggie was embarrassing herself. This was so embarrassing. But she's sitting there talking about how she's not scared. But I'm like, you got all the space and opportunity. You don't want to fight her, but you still ain't ran up yet. She's giving you every opportunity. She don't even have her guards up purposely because she knows that you can't fight. But Tesehki is still looking at ET. She's like, come on. She's sitting over there taunting her. ET tried to acknowledge it, but not acknowledge it. And Tesehki saying, look at my work. I love looking at my work. Talking about her face. She said, your face is swole as fuck. I was she's tearing her up. But ET then starts circling, trying to go after Ahna, rightfully so. She ends up getting stopped, saying that she got the biggest heart. I got the biggest heart in this bitch. And honestly, I will agree, you do. Because she got in there and ran multiple phases. And like I said, I got to respect it. But Natalie says nobody likes you. Mariahlynn is saying nobody likes you. ET says she out. She ran all her fades and she runs all her fades. She did. That is true. But Natalie is talking to ET. And as she's talking to her, because ET looked like she could press her at this point, and Natalie's got her hands down. I said, Natalie, get your guards up. This girl just snuck you. She will do it again if she wants to, and you're going to get caught lacking because your arms are down. Get your guard up. You can talk to her, but be like this. Be prepared for her to sneak you. But Natalie's talking to her, saying, what's up? And ET pretty much says, why you set me up? And she's still sticking to the setup thing. And she said, some guy. And then Natalie said, what guy? She said, the gay nigga. And then she's talking about Scotty's dude. And Natalie said, that's somebody from Scotty's camp. And production's now trying to set it all down. Like she's trying to shut everything down. They're just trying to have them all sit back down, telling them to sit down. Because they take ET backstage at this point. And Natalie is telling Scotty that your stylist is going to get his ass whooped because he keeps saying her name, which we know he didn't say her name. And I want to say that now because I got on the camera last week because I was trying to give that little dumbass liar the benefit of the doubt. But as we all saw, when Rolly was pressing her, trying to get her to come out that trailer to face him face to face, she didn't want to face him face to face. And in that moment, I knew she was lying. And that dude didn't do nothing. That dude didn't say nothing. He literally was out there doing his job. You couldn't face him. So that lets me know that you was lying on his name, and you lied on his name because you thought he wasn't going to be brought to the camera to be addressed about the situation. But they shut it all down. Natalie's sitting down telling they actually sat them all down. Ahna was saying that she don't care that she snuck ET because she goes around sneaking everybody else. That is true. They have their final thoughts and everything, but that was pretty much it. Natalie then says, which I thought she said to ET the way they cut it last week. I wish she would have said it, but Natalie said that right there is a wild animal. She is not a baddie. That's a broke bitch that don't get no fucking money, and she's mad as fuck. And she said that's how you get fired. And that's all I watched for the rest of that. Y'all, we made it. We finished a 23 episode season. The reunion was worth the wait. I will give you that. All 3 episodes were good, very entertaining. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much for being with me this whole season, sticking it out with me. I hope y'all stick it out with me for the rest. I'm going to stick it out with the Zeus content. I said I wasn't going to do it, but y'all, I enjoy talking to y'all. I enjoy y'all having I know some of y'all just want to talk to somebody about this stuff. I know there's plenty of other people y'all can talk to about it, but if y'all would like talking to me, I appreciate it because y'all are here supporting me. I got more shows on the way. I'm gonna do the Bad vs. Wild, which I'm assuming that's coming next Sunday, so I'll still be here. Me and my little Dancing with the Stars crew, we're gonna be doing the So You Think You Can Dance after shows on Monday. I think it starts the next Monday. I got Traders that I'm wrapping up. Great show. If y'all ain't been watching it, watch it. What else I got on the horizon? Track and field, that's rearing up. We got Olympics on the way. Outdoor season is loading. World records are dropping every single week. And what else am I doing? The Challenge All-Stars, that's coming too. So yeah, stick with the channel. Stick with your boy. Like if y'all like watching these, y'all should watch those. Those are good too. But yeah, if y'all with me just for the Zeus content, whatever. Just make sure y'all thumbs up the video, drop the comments down below. Continue to subscribe, share the video if you like. My socials are there. If you want to hit me there, I will talk to y'all. I will respond to y'all. And yeah, drop a comment. Let me know y'all here. Drop a comment down there. Thumbs up the video. I will see y'all tomorrow. Me and Movie Bay are doing our last Baddies live tomorrow around 8 p.m. Eastern time. So turn the post notifications on. We'll be there. Jump in the chat. We're going to talk to y'all. Y'all can get y'all thoughts off. Hopefully we can figure out how to get y'all on for a call so y'all can just speak it instead of just typing it. But we'll see. Both of us are not great with technology, but we'll see. But yeah, thank y'all again. I will see y'all tomorrow. Peace.